Nearly half of Australian adults aged 18 to 49 are on dating apps. And while platforms like Tinder, Bumble and Hinge have made it easier for many to find love, there's also a much darker side to digital dating. Tonight, our global investigation uncovers the sinister secrets these apps don't want you to know. Here's reporter Ashley Mullaney.
There was a time when, believe it or not, this was where we met the love or loves of our lives. How distant that memory seems. Dating apps, for many people. For pretty much all their adult lives, these apps have been seen as the fast track, maybe the only track, to romance. A way to meet guys like Mark.
And what are you looking for in a woman?
What am I looking for? A female version of me?
So humble. And what makes you a good catch?
Oh, just look at me.
Or women like Hannah.
That was the best date that I've ever been on in my whole life.
So I'm going on another date.
He kind of looks like my brother.
On to the next.
Over the last few decades, they've eclipsed every other form of dating. 350 million of us are now swiping right for romance. The two most popular sites, Tinder and Hinge, both owned by the Match Group, have more than 100 million users across 197 countries. Bumble, their nearest competitor, has 60 million users.
If you sort of look at the growth of how people are meeting now, it's extraordinary how many relationships are forming online. I think most people would have been to a Tinder or a Hinge or a Grindr wedding or several.
Just as their growth has been phenomenal, so has their values skyrocketed.
I knew from the very beginning we were onto something.
Fran Meyer co-founded Match.com, the world's first dating app, in 1995.
We really focused on attracting women. So we only had 5 questions. And the 5 questions had a lot to do with how you looked.
When Match.com launched, Fran could never have predicted how valuable her idea would become.
In 1998, it was sold, and this is embarrassing to me, it was sold for less than $8 million.
The Match Group is now valued at $8 billion. But now it seems our honeymoon with dating apps is over.
How would you describe your experience on dating apps in one word?
In one word, hopeful. And tragic. Can I say 2? I'm going on 50 first dates. Here's date 1.
Sydney-sider Hannah Zaslowski, 32, has fallen out of love with her dating apps.
Yeah, no, not for me. The conversation is just not flowing.
She's had successes and failures, but after dozens of dates,
This is the fit.
hasn't found the one. So she's sharing her love life with her 100,000 plus social media followers.
Wish me luck. He's in my bed. I did say you could sleep in my bed, but I didn't say naked. I don't know what to do.
CrossFitter Mark Elwood has been swiping right for 8 years in vain.
And the rate of success?
Well, I'm still single, so it's very fatiguing at times. You tend to think, well, I'm devoting a lot of time to this and not getting anything out of it.
It should be a goldmine, but it really isn't in a lot of ways.
According to technology analyst Angus Donoghue, the online dating industry is on the rocks.
I think the outlook looks pretty grim, especially for Match Group and Bumble. Both of them, they're guiding to falling sales this year.
share prices are tumbling as more and more users like Hannah turn off.
Why do you refuse to pay?
Well, why pay for something that's not working in the first place? I haven't been successful on the apps. I'm 7 years single.
Like millions of others, Mark too has decided that the price charged by the apps for peeking behind the paywall is an investment with diminishing returns.
Is it expensive?
It can be, yeah. Look, up to about $50 a month. So it's not something that I've done a lot due to the price point. But the way that they work, you don't tend to get a lot of responses unless you purchase the subscriptions.
There's such a disconnect between what the product is and what the actual outcome is for users. This is not something where you get what you pay for.
Trying everything it can to win back hearts and wallets, the Match Group has been cost-cutting, while divorcing its CEOs at an alarming rate.
They've tried everything under the sun to get more money out of the right users, and it hasn't all just kind of meshed together in the right sort of way. Their strategies seem very tired.
The struggle to streamline finances comes at a dangerous price. The online dating apps have opened the door to real-world predators.
I just told them that we were having to triage rape, which nobody ever wants to do. We were having to triage reports of drugging.
For nearly a decade, Michael Laurie was a content moderator and online security guard for the Match Group. Now he breaks his silence.
You're in a unique position where you've seen behind the curtain. You've seen how these dating apps operate. With everything you know now, Michael, do you believe they're safe?
No, I don't think they're safe.
I had always envisioned, being married by the time I was 30 and starting a family. Hadn't quite happened yet for me.
Maddie Lane, now in her early 30s, was 19 when she started using dating apps.
What were you looking for in a man?
I don't think I was looking for much. Just a good person, a kind person.
But Maddie wouldn't meet a kind person. She would meet Boyd Kramer, who would assault her after they matched on Tinder.
What are you looking for on Tinder exactly?
These are Maddie's text messages with Kramer. She has no record of her Tinder communication.
Honestly, don't know what I want. Just know I don't want to be alone in my apartment anymore. Not willing to commit to anything, but open to see where it goes.
Before they meet up, she makes her position very clear.
I don't jump into bed with people, never have. So if you are looking to hook up, I'd rather be upfront. I'm not your girl and we wouldn't be having sex tonight or when we catch up. So if that's what you're after, I wouldn't want to waste either of our time.
It was deception of the cruelest kind. On that first meeting, Kramer raped Maddie, then tried to crawl out of it.
Can you forgive me? I was very attracted to you. That's not me. I hope you understand. I am sorry, girl.
I said no. I said no to sex the entire night. Even before I got there, I never consented. What you did was wrong.
Unlike many victims who were too traumatised or ashamed to go to police, Maddie did.
The police asked me to reach out to Tinder and ask them for the transcripts of our conversation, so I reached out to them as well.
But Tinder said they'd all been deleted.
Were you surprised by that response?
I would say disappointed. Disappointed by the response. I mean, that's how I found this person. The person who had done this horrible crime to me was through their app.
Maddie's text messages were used as evidence against Kramer. And despite the lack of help from Tinder, he was convicted of raping her, but never served a custodial sentence.
Cases never stop. People never stop using dating sites. Abusers never stop.
According to industry whistleblower Michael Laurie, There's a very predictable reason why the dating apps have let online security standards slip: money.
I don't think someone's safety should come at the cost of making money from an app.
Up next, the dangerous price of love.
What words come to mind when you think about some of the content that you saw on the dating app?
Disturbing.
And Maddie meets Mr. Right.
He listened, he empathized, and it didn't change how he looked at me.
To cut costs, nearly all the popular dating apps outsource some of their frontline safety teams to companies in developing countries like Honduras, Guatemala, Brazil, the Philippines, and India.
The problem is the front line is always the people who see the complaints. Once you've outsourced to places like that, you're reliant on that frontline team to be reporting things.
What words come to mind when you think about some of the content that you saw on the dating app?
Disturbing. There is a lot of child abuse and child pornography there.
Maria was paid just $30 a day in Honduras to be on that front line of user safety for a major dating app.
One of the most disturbing cases that I had to, let's just say, investigate, it was a group of men who were planning to rape kids.
Did you feel like you wanted to report this to the police?
Yes, but at the same time, I'm in another country. Even though if I reported it here, they were not gonna do anything.
Are they equipped to be handling these sort of complaints?
No, but it's not going to solve the problem ever because the problem is just too big and predators are out there.
And alarmingly for users like Maddie Lane, convicting criminals like her rapist Boyd Kramer doesn't necessarily mean they won't be back on the same dating apps.
It's not 100% easy to stop somebody coming back onto a site. You can't keep people off who want to come back. If they're determined to come back, they'll work out a way of doing it.
Despite the horror Maddie went through, she remained determined to find the kind man she'd always dreamed of.
But I'm stubborn, I guess I would say. So I sort of pushed through it. I did go back online. I was fortunate and I did find a keeper.
In a happy twist of fate, Maddie met Vincent Cusimano on a dating app.
Early on, I think we're still on the Hinge chat at that point, and she said, full disclosure, I went through an assault. I remember being very angry for her after hearing everything she went through.
He listened, he empathized, and it didn't change how he looked at me, so.
After 2 years of dating, on a sunny Sydney afternoon, Vincent popped the question. Maddie will soon marry her kind man.
What are your emotions now, Maddie, around this?
I don't think I'll never not be angry. This happened to me, and, I used to be ashamed of it, but, I grew from this. I'm not the person I was back then. I'm a lot stronger than I was, and I'll stand up for myself a lot more than I used to.
We invited some of the major dating apps to appear in tonight's episode, but they declined. Their written responses can be found on our website. The link is right there on your screen. I'm Michael Usher. Thanks so much for your company. Good night.